We recently partnered with an 18 location dispensary, and I'm going to share with you the top 5 things that I learned from partnering with them, so then you can go ahead and grow your dispensary to 18 locations as well. 1, they're operationally lean. So one of the biggest things that I find the bottleneck for working with dispensaries is how do we communicate the best and how do we communicate effectively? Just because we're chatting a lot over email or talking over Zoom doesn't mean we're getting things done. So even though that this location has 18 locations and hundreds of employees, there's 1 to 2 contact people that I message and my team message that we need to make sure that we get the things done properly. So on their team, they go and make sure that the stakeholders and upper management are satisfied with the things that need to get done. And then they clearly communicate to the marketing director the things that need to get done that then needs to get communicated with us. The problem is that a lot of times when I'm working with my other partners, they may have 3 contact people, 4 contact people, 5 contact people, and the business is much smaller than theirs are already. You have a graphics department, you have a web department, you have an email department, you have all these different departments that are trying to communicate different things. So it's super effective when we can only communicate with 1 to 2 people, so we can then be direct and we can ensure that the things that need to get done and the things that are priority are very important. Because again, if we're talking to 5 different people, and obviously I'm trying to make sure everyone that I talk to is happy and good, the problem is those 5 people are not communicating with each other. So the priority tasks of what need to get done are also getting lost. I'm just getting 15 different tasks hit at me at all different points in time, but if there's 1 to 2 people, they can then clearly let me know these are the things that need to get done. Ideally, this is when the deadline of what needs to get done, and here are the KPIs that we need to reach in order to make sure that we make things a success. Other things that they do, very simple, but the things that you need to do at the bottom level need to get done across the board. Showing up to meetings on time, taking the initiative to book the meetings in calendars. So we do this for our clients, but it's really nice to work with a well-oiled marketing machine where on their side, they're showing up to meetings, they're making sure things are recorded, they're making sure the notes are being taken. Let's face it, I've spoken with hundreds of dispensaries. I know exactly what needs to get done inside and out, and sometimes that's not the case on the other side. So notes need to get taken on either side to ensure the things that I said also get implemented on the back end. Not, hey Brandon, that sounds good, but we want to make sure that the things that I say and the expertise that I can provide to you are clearly being done, because just going back and forth doesn't mean that things are going to be done. The things are done when they get done. So by taking notes and ensuring that the things are being executed on properly, those are very important things, and a well-oiled machine is able to accomplish them within a certain amount of time as well. What else do they do? Payments go out on time, so I never need to hassle with the payments. Everything is just well-oiled. And the reason why I'm talking about a lot of these things that are super fundamental and super straightforward is that they run 18 locations. So all of the faults and all of the inefficiencies that you have in your business get multiplied 18 different times. And a lot of the times it's not just a linear growth of problems, it's an exponential growth of problems, right? Because if you have problems running one store, you're going to have problems running all of the other stores, and then all of those issues are going to compound. So what you need to make sure is that if you want to grow your store to 18 locations, you need to make sure you're operationally efficient, operationally lean, and you do the simple things at a very world-class level. 2, they're very good at location selection. So there's 2 things really that you need to take into consideration when you're looking for a new store. Is the population big enough for you to make the money that you want? So if you take all of the people in the city and you multiply by how many people do you think that you can target, you essentially have your TAM, your total adjustable market, but just on a city level, right? Not on a global level, but just on your city. So you need to make sure, 1, that the city that you're targeting has enough people that will make you the money that you're wanting based on whatever revenue goals and whatever investments that you've made. But then 2, you then also need to make that the competition is good enough. So what this dispensary has been able to do is they've been able to figure out what are the right cities to target in terms of how big the population is, and then what are the right cities to target just to make sure that there's not a lot of competition. Because if you go ahead and you open up a dispensary like downtown LA, downtown Toronto, you're going to see dispensaries literally right side by side, and you need to be an absolute beast if you want to conquer the market with that much competition. But if you can take a slightly smaller city, get a bigger piece of the pie, even though the pond is slightly smaller, you will then be put at an advantage. Another thing that you also need to take into consideration is when you find your city, where do you need to go? What intersection do you need to go on? Because location physically still plays a lot. Like, I know I completely support and I completely emphasize using Google and SEO, and I say that in almost every one of my videos, which is true, but having a physical location gives you so many benefits over your competition. If you're just one block up that has 3 times, 4 times more traffic than another dispensary down the other block, you just have a permanent advantage, because the physical location is something that people cannot beat if you're beating the competition. Sure, you can have a slightly better website, your SEO strategy can be better, you could rank a little bit higher, but if you have a really, really good location, maybe it's off the end of a highway going into 2 different cities, so you're right in the middle, or if you're smack dab in the middle of the city and you have a lot of people around you, having the right location plays a very, very key vital role in order for you to scale up properly. So again, getting to 18 locations, they found good locations in the city, they found the population was good enough, and then they found exactly where in the city they want to go in order for them to have the biggest advantage over the competition. Number 3, and this should go without saying, is that they have a quality service. I took a look at all their Google reviews, and across all 18 dispensaries, they're averaging 4.7 stars. That's insane. Some of you guys can't manage above 4 with 1 store. So I ask, like, what are you doing, right? I'm half joking, but still, if you have 18 locations and you're running at 4.7 stars, it means you have a well-oiled machine. And what does a well-oiled machine look like exactly? Well, there's 4 things you need to take into consideration when you know you're going to get good Google reviews. There's good quality product, there's good pricing with the product, there's good customer service, and then there's good buying experience. The customer service is something along the lines of, yeah, John/Sarah remembered it was my birthday, so they gave me a very cool discount, or they were able to recommend this product that knocked my socks off and is really, really awesome. The buying experience goes into things like, are you in a good location? Do you have parking? Are you easily found? Are you in a safe neighborhood? All of these things then play into the fact of the good buying experience. If you don't have any products, if you don't have a wide variety of products, if you're always out of stock, you're not going to have a good buying experience and people are not going to come back. So you want to make sure you have good quality product, good pricing according to the products that you have and according to the market that you serve, good buying experience, and then also good customer experience as well. 4, talent acquisition. So I don't deal with this exactly with their team, but they have a killer team on the marketing side, and that's who I work directly with. But if you're opening up 18 locations, you need staff for all of your general managers, all of your bud tenders, all of your accountants, all of your lawyers, whatever it is to get your businesses up and running. So having a good way to funnel talent to your end in order to give you better reviews, in order to get a better customer service for the people that you're serving, all of these things compound over time. So having a good talent acquisition strategy for you to hire very, very good people on your team is of utmost importance. Too many people just go and say, hey, yeah, I'm just going to hire this university student off the street, and then they either churn or they're either no good. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you have a way to acquire good talent into your company, because then they're a direct reflection in your company itself, meaning that if your talent is bad, then your customers are going to see you as bad, and then you're not going to make as much money. So if your talent is good, your customers are going to see you as good, and then you're going to make a lot of money, right? So looking at your talent acquisition funnel is incredibly, incredibly important. And last but not least, number 5, they're open to learning and implementing the information they get from experts. So in this situation, we're the experts because we do SEO, we do the digital marketing, we do website conversion optimization. But there's been a few conversations I've had with a couple of past partners that we've worked with where they thought their word is law and they didn't take any information or any just feedback from what we thought that we should do. Now, I'm not saying I know it all or anything like that, but I have spoken with hundreds of dispensary owners at this point, and I know exactly what works and what doesn't work, and I know the people that it's worked for. And a lot of times when I'm working with people who think that they know it all because their gut feeling tells them it should go this way, I let them know that I have the data to back up exactly everything that I need to say because I've worked with a bunch of other dispensaries before. So what these guys do is they're able to implement both the feedback they're getting from the upper management shareholders and the feedback that we give them and combine the two. So they don't just do everything that I say, but at the same time, they're open to listening. They have an open mind, and then they go and implement and execute, and they figure out the things that work and they figure out the things that don't work based on the best practices that we provide them. Like I said, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not going to go and present to them what the future is going to look like with 100% accuracy. Nobody can do that. But what these guys do very, very well is they take the expertise that I'm giving them for working with each other, because that's a benefit when you get to work with a specialized agency, is that we can provide you specific information catered towards your exact same situation. And then they can go ahead and see, okay, where does this implement best within the business? Not, oh, I know best, do this, and it runs as a dictatorship and they think that they know best to do everything. Typically those partnerships don't work out very well, and maybe that is their style for working with other people. But I found the way, if you really want to grow, you need to have a team, especially if the team and you're outsourcing teams and finding agencies, you need to find a good, and I hate to use this word all the time, you need to find a good synergy between the team to make sure that you can get yourself working well, and then you can work with your vendors as well, and then leverage the expertise that they can provide. So if you haven't already seen, I actually just released my guide. It's called the Dispensary Website Playbook, and it goes through step by step in order to show you how you can turn your website into a money-making machine. It shows you how you can make your website frictionless so that you can increase the amount of sales that you get on your website. It took me forever to write this book, but I hope you enjoy reading it, and I hope you more so enjoy implementing the things that I tell you that you need to do in order to help your business grow more. Again, this is from the knowledge and expertise and the data that I've gotten over the years and years of working with dispensaries in the website and SEO space, and I'm giving it to you completely for free. It's my knowledge essentially distilled down into a few pages online that you can go ahead and download. So if you haven't already and you haven't seen this before, just go to cannabudmarketing.com/website playbook, or you can go look in the description below and then you can find it there as well. So until next time, talk to you later. Bye.